Hey, this is Silverhammer, and this is my first dev journal entry for the Pixelart for a original game I'm working on entitled Monstrum. Monstrum's a adventure horror game along the style of SNES games such as Link to the Past. Right now, the development team for this project is just me doing the pixel art and my friend Kobe working on the programming aspects of this game. On today's journal entry, I'm going to be showing you guys some of the room I've been starting to work on for the map and the maze going on for the game, and I will be showing you the starts of the HUD. Alright, let's get started. So you can see this is some of the ideas I've been going off of to get perspective and stuff right as I go through and make these. Here's first one I made up just to get an idea of exactly possibly how the starting out room might look. As you can see, very Zelda-esque style with the HUD up here. But this is one of the first ones I made up of it, so let me get to one of the newer ones. Alright, so here's the latest one I've been putting together. As you can see, kind of the starting out room. This is where you'll collect your jars for the elixir and be able to fill up on health. A little tutorial area. When you actually start out the game, this area will be more dilapidated looking because I wanted to implement a upgrade system feature where you can upgrade the bookshelves and be able to read bios and descriptions and see images of the different enemies and characters you come across within the world of Monstrum. This back chest back here will end up being a display case where you can leave your oddities that you don't have to keep on you. Oddities are items within the game. You'll start out with 2 random common ones. Every oddity has its own unique effect. 2 oddities put together can create a third effect, but not every 2 oddities can be combined for a new attribute. Within the game, you can upgrade weapons and items and get stat boosts from items such as the oddities, but your character themselves will never be able to level up and increase their attributes like that. But so that would be the case for the oddities, where you can drop them off because oddities will take up an item slot unless you, except for the 2 you can have equipped. Your item slots are going to be really sought after, being that you only have a limited number of them, and this game will be dealing a lot with collecting and distribution of items and different things of the sort. The one over here will end up being a items chest, so you can drop off items that you don't currently need. You'll may be able to upgrade the chest so you can find other chests sporadically throughout the dungeon to be able to pick up and drop stuff off at also, much like these chests in the save rooms of the original Resident Evil games. The other one over here will end up being a workbench where you can upgrade weapons or certain items to upgrade the attributes of them, stats, or to give bonus abilities. All of these would be different upgrades. You would have to use the currency within the game and possible items to collect to upgrade and be able to use these items. The 2 fountains down here would be to heal yourself, fill up on your health, and to fill up on the elixir. Which I'll talk about that in a bit. These would also be limited to how many times you can use them before you completely deplete them. Enemies will not drop either of these items, so the only way to get health are the elixirs from these fountains. There's only a designated amount of them throughout the game. Some of them are hidden in secret rooms or passages. Others are out in the open, but they are limited uses, and you only have 1 health for the 1 life for the entire game. You will be able to beat some side quests and mini bosses to get items that will give you an extra life, where you can continue from where you left off and not have to restart the game. but I'll talk more in depth about that as I start making more of the sprites and stuff for this and some of the other concepts. Here's an idea for the elevator system to lead from the starting room, which is in the basement of the museum, up to the actual museum floors itself. When it's in motion, the chains will be going, and you'll be able to see the lights pass from floors as you're going through, and they'll be shining down onto the floor of the elevator. Right now, I haven't really gotten into the shading of it or anything yet, and it's still kind of plain. This is just the rough concept of what the elevator may look like. And here's a mock-up of just a generic room for me to start dropping stuff into as I make it. This will end up being the first room of the game once you get out of there. But right now I'm currently working on the puzzles to get to the first boss. How many of them there'll be, what kind of ones there'll be, and then where I'll be hiding the items within the maze. And still working on exactly how the first maze is going to be set up. It's going to, all the mazes will all be interconnected. Think along the lines of the mansion from Resident Evil. So as you collect and get further through the game, you can come back and get into new areas that you weren't able to get into before. And you can just keep on doing everything, and it'll keep you coming back to this room to be able to drop stuff off, pick stuff up, upgrade items, and so on and so forth. And the more you upgrade these from finding the currency throughout the game, you'll be able to possibly unlock other areas throughout the mansion, so you don't always have to backtrack to come to here to be able to do things like that. But as you can see, starting to build sprite sheet to put these all together, but still a work in progress. This is what I have on it so far. I still have to do animations and stuff for the doors and the movement of the chains. These doors for the elevators are only for these ones right now. I'll have other doors made for different areas of the actual museum. This is just the elevator for right now. But let me actually get over to the HUD and talk a little bit about that. Okay. So you can see it's still a little in the style of Zelda, but the idea is these are all referencing things from that original room you start out in. So it's display cases are kind of what you're looking at. You'll have your map in here, which I'm thinking about making it look more like a map inside a frame as opposed to this black backdrop, and maybe doing the rooms in a brownish or blackish room set, and then have the glowing character. This will be much along the lines of Zelda, showing currency, your keys you currently have on you, and your explosives. These two boxes will be showcasing the two oddities you have equipped at the moment, and in your inventory screen you'll be able to read what the stat boosts are and see everything that's affecting your character. Over here, this is your health bar. Being in the world of MONSTRUM slowly mutates you and kills you. So the entire time you're here, your health is rapidly decreasing. To combat this, you need the elixir. The elixir you can only carry with you in these bottles. You'll start out with 3 of them. Think of these bottles as the hearts from Zelda. Every time an enemy hits you, it will decrease the bottle by a little bit. When all the bottles are empty, just being in this place slowly starts killing you. Whenever an enemy hits you, once these are depleted, they'll also deal damage straight to your health. There'll be a few enemies, few and far in between, but a few certain types of enemies that will bypass these jars altogether and deal damage straight to your health. But that's what we're working on right now. Actually, some of this has already started to get implemented, getting the programming and stuff done for it, and I believe Cobes already has his video up showing off some of this. I'll have a link to that at the bottom of the page. But I'll have another video up shortly showing off the character sprite I have so far and some of my enemy sprites. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe.